welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. Woo! And we are so excited. Woo! I am so excited and elated to have Mr. Producer Extraordinaire himself, Mr.
I don't know
Glenn.
about all that, but thank you for the compliments. I'm humble.
This is the producer extraordinaire himself, Mr. Glenn G.P. Piper himself. Woo! Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. And this is Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. And without further ado, we're going to go on and get started on our topic for this quarter. We are talking about the indie artist journey. And the topic this quarter is Don't Quit, Reinvent. All right? Don't quit, reinvent. Reinvent. That's right. And I wanted to have a veteran producer on the show this quarter. And I know, thank God, we don't crack. So he has great genes. He looks awesome. But he has been in the music industry for a very, very long time. And we're gonna get down to the meat and the bones of everything today with Mr. Glenn G. Piper this evening. So again, our topic for this quarter is the indie artist journey. Don't quit, reinvent. And we're here because we just want to encourage you as indie artists. I'm an indie artist myself. He's a indie producer, and all independent means is that we're not under anyone's record label. We're not financially backed. Excuse me. We are not financially backed by a record label or a big machine record company, and we're just doing everything ourselves. But that doesn't mean that our music is not like mainstream. Trust me, it is. Right. Most indies are on top when it comes to music creations and things like that. So creations. I'm telling you, creations.
And that's the good thing of being independent. You have the liberty to be creative.
That's right. Right. The liberty and the blessings. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Without someone telling you, well, this is really, really good, but we want to stick with something that's, what's the trend right now. That's right. Right. And so that is the blessing. We are free to be creative as we are, and we start our own trends. Right. We are our own trendsetters. That's right. That's right. So can you tell the people how long you've actually been in the music field?
Well, I've been in the business well over 20 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been blessed to meet some people. I've been blessed to travel the country, work with different people. So I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So my journey started way back in Louisiana.
All right. What part?
A small town called DeRidder, Louisiana. You would see the sign if you're on I-10 going towards New Orleans or Lake Charles or Lafayette. You would see the sign that says DeRidder, Louisiana, the big city of DeRidder, Louisiana. That's why I grew up under the tutelage of my dad. Rest in peace to my dad. He taught me everything. That's where all my musical genes come from. I started on drums. Then from there, I moved to bass guitar. And to be honest, I really didn't start like producing and really start playing piano until I moved here.
Okay.
In Houston, Texas. I was able to broaden my music vocabulary and step out and do different things. Because back home, I'm coming from the Kojic.
Right. Okay. We have the same foundation. Yes. Kojic.
So there wasn't a lot of other music that was, I was able to listen to. I did do jazz band in high school, but outside of school, other than that, no.
Right. Now we do have a rich listen, and you and I both know because we have the same type of history in music.
Right.
Most secular record companies and record labels, they look for that's who they want to hire. That's who they want. They want
Exactly.
us
Exactly.
us church kids. That's who they want because thank God our foundation is that rich, and the talent is even richer. And so they
Right.
want the best. When they look for artists, they want the best of the best of the best, and they really are looking. They look right in the church. They look
Because
right in
it's
the
it's
church.
because it's the passion and
Right,
it's the feeling that you bring
right.
to the songs that you sing, to the songs that you play.
That's right.
Uh, it just make the song. It paints the picture so much that people want to know about that particular song because it's so much heart and it's so
Yes,
much feeling in it. And
yes.
I mean everything, pretty much everything comes from the church now.
It does. It does. And I want to interject
Uh,
because this is around the time where the American Country Music Awards it just passed on Sunday on the 18th of April. And Carrie Underwood and CeCe Winans, Carrie Underwood went right back to her church roots and did a tribute and she brought in CeCe Winans herself, our gospel Christian artist extraordinaire, veteran,
yeah.
and they did a beautiful ode. It was hymns, an ode to Christian. And she and Carrie Underwood, it was so genuine. It's just like you said. The industry, they reach into the church and they get, but because we are passionate. That was a beautiful, beautiful tribute and a beautiful selection that the two of them did. I was moved and touched when I saw it. So I mean, we, like you said, we bring a lot to the music industry with our roots alone.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's right. So, how long have you been in, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in Houston, Texas? Because you said a little bit earlier that that's when you really got started on your journey as a producer. How long have you been in Houston?
Ooh, I've been in Houston over 20 years. I
See,
came down here.
yes.
I came down here, and that goes back to say I've been doing this a long time. So I would say music has always been my life, even from a
Right.
kid. Just
Right.
from a kid.
Right.
But as far as like actually really digging into it and getting into the industry side of it,
Right. Right.
um, I didn't really do that until I got here.
Right.
Um, and I moved down here straight out of high school. Went to
Okay.
school, studied music and video business. Um,
Okay.
got my degree, and from there I started meeting different types of people. And from there I got introduced to different styles of music, different
Wow.
types of music that I've heard all my life, but
Right.
never really took the time out to really just sit and listen to it and just pay attention to the elements that was going on in the song because we wasn't allowed to listen to
Yes.
that type of music. But
Right, right. We had that
yeah,
same, yeah. Well, everything
right,
was church music, Christian music, church music, like that. So the difference between our foundation is that you got an education in music, which it took me to move down South Georgia because I'm from New York. So up in New York, it's we don't find as many people, ethnic people, who get a higher education because it's the big city. Everything is so fast. It's moving. It's a whole different culture up there. And then when I migrated to Atlanta, I saw more educated ethnic people such as yourself, and I actually acquired my degrees later on in life, living down here in Georgia.
hmm
And even then, I did not get my degrees in music. But what I fell in love with people like such as yourself who actually studied in music, and you got a higher degree in music because it taught you outside of the foundation that we have, because again we do have a rich foundation, but it taught you the theoretical part of music, and it kind of broadens things. So when you want to move into, like you did, more into the music industry, you come not only with your expertise and your God-given talent, but you're coming with education to back you with that. And I learned that how important it is to have your education in music, which just broadens things for you. Now again, we have our God-given talent, which got us in the doors as well. And it definitely got me in the doors with my God-given talent and expertise and trainings. But again, to add an education and your degrees with it on top of it, to me, that is so just so noble. So I love that. I love that. So I want you to tell the audience, I want you to start, can you highlight some of the artists that you've worked with?
Ooh, there's so many. Well, I start on the well, I guess I do the R&B side. And jazz. Like I said, when I moved down here, I was open up to so many genres of music. And
right.
So, and I thank God that I was able to be open up to those genres of music, because it allowed me to work with different artists such as Al Jarreau, R&B singer Angie Stone.
As we see, this is amazing.
And Anthony David, we did a show with him. He's a real cool brother. Okay. Regina Bell.
Yes, yes.
Dante Moore.
Yes.
Up and coming artists. They are really hot right now. Chloe and Haley.
Yes.
Got a chance to work with them at the NAACP convention.
Awesome.
And actors, Darren Hanson.
Right.
Kim Whitley.
Yes.
Terrence T.C. Carson.
Yes.
Jonathan Reynolds. The list goes on. You know, it's too many to name. And then on the gospel side, Kim.
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
Ronald Isley, Ruben Studdard.
Wow.
It's just going on. So it's just been a blessing.
Yes, this is amazing.
And of course my guy Tank, who I toured with for years, you know.
Wow, yes.
I was able to go overseas, to Iraq to perform for the troops. That's
amazing.
Great experience. On the gospel side, James Fortune, Gary Mays,
wow,
Kathy Taylor, Lamar Campbell.
Wow.
It's just I just been blessed, and you know, and I'm humble. I always say humble. You know, I don't take it for granted, because they could have called anybody else.
Right.
They chose to call me, and I will forever be grateful, and I will forever be humble and honored.
That is amazing. Oh my goodness. So can you give some time frames? And I'm going to start, as you can see, as you're talking, the viewing audience, I want to show them some of the album and covers that you've done as a producer. So can you give some time frames, like when you work with, like right here with these artists and the projects? Yes.
Now, Jerry, who is my best friend, it's just like a lot of people know, that's like when I really, really started getting into records. You know, that's how my name started becoming. Like this first record, Gary Mays and New Era, the NEC, what is it? The NX.
It's the New Era and the NE Experience. Yes.
Now he re-released this record, but this record was done before they even had like iTunes.
Oh, wow.
So everything was physical copy. So this is way back in I want to say, in the late 90s.
Right. And see, I'm so glad that you mentioned that about that era, because I remember a young person, I met a young person in the industry, and he had a lot of questions for me. He was like, "Oh my God, Miss Price," he said, "you were working way before they started flying vocals, and y'all," he said, you had to do the work itself, where he said, "Well, I just go in and lay something down, do one track, the 1, 2, 3 tracks is over with, get paid and keep it moving." And I had to, when he said that, I had to stop and blink, because I was like, yeah, we were in the studio, like you said, all
Right.
day,
All
all
day.
night.
And it was analog at the time.
Yes,
And
yes,
so it was 2-inch. Then it
yes.
moved from 2-inch. Then they went to ADAT.
Right.
Then from ADAT, then they went from ADAT, and then the digital part of it was
Right.
the DA88s or DA38s, which I believe we did his record on. But at the time, you still wasn't flying in vocals. You still
No,
had to copy those vocals,
that's right.
record them, and place them in there.
And
Now on
place
2-inch,
them.
on
Yes.
2-inch, you just had to re-sing the stuff.
Oh, and see, that's what we did. And then,
Yeah.
you know, especially at that time in the 90s, they did have what you said, but they felt like they got a richer sound if we just did if we just did it physically ourselves. And so we were stacking. And you better match everything to a T, or else you got to stop. We take a short break and get it in there. And I mean, we have to get it perfect. And so now, I feel lazy if I only sing one track and then it's, you know, if it's flown or whatever. I feel lazy. Even to this day, I will still say, no, I'm singing all the way through. Let me do it again. And what I'm noticing is that a lot of people, because of what we came from and what we've done, a lot of people don't have that stamina. They don't have the foundation. They don't know how to continue to do the same thing, the same note. They'll do the same riff, the same run, do it exactly the same and match it perfectly. So I am grateful for that foundation, because it's so easy now. I'm noticing a lot of these younger artists, they don't know how to duplicate what they've done. And duplicate it perfectly, the right timing, the right play, you know, the right placing, all of that. So you're right. You're talking now. You talking.
Well, it is good, and then is bad. Well, I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's just a different time.
It's a different time
because now it saves times on singers and vocals, and you can work on something else.
It does.
If you could get this one part right. And so you spend time getting it right the first time.
Right.
So if you can stack your vocals right, cutting off at the same time, singing the right phrases at the same time, if you could get those stacked the first 4 times, if it's coming up again, I can just copy what you've done
and place
and
it.
I know it's gonna be consistent.
Right, exactly.
You know,
but the proof is when you do it live. And that's where a lot of people are disappointed when they do it live. They go sing live somewhere, and it's like it sounds nothing like the album. And so that I know what you're saying as far as engineering, as far as all of that. Yes, it is that it cuts down on time and money and all of that stuff. You know, but you're gonna get to that. But the proof is in the pudding. That live show.
Yep.
Yes.
Now this next Gary G Mays a New Era, Diary of a Strong Soldier, that was done in 2007. Now 2000, I want to say 2005 all the way up to 2010 was like really busy for me.
Okay.
Really busy because I was doing so many albums. I was touring with everybody, and even James Fortune, I wrote a song on his record with another producer of mine, Terrence Bond. Shout out to Terrence. It's an instrumental. I wrote an instrumental on that, and this record came out in 2010. So that whole 2000 era, from 2005 on up to 2010, was it was a blessing. It was quite of a blessing.
That is so awesome. I'm going to switch over. Can you tell the viewing audience a little bit about these projects that you did?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm doing this. I'm going to interject. I want the viewing audience to see this is just a fraction of the work that Glenn G.P. Piper have done But when we move on to the topic that we're talking about, I want you to understand that he really is legitimate. He knows what he's talking about. He's put the time in. He's got the education to back it up. He's got the experience and working with different people. So whatever that he's going to impart in you on today, trust me, you're getting expertise from an expert himself. And so, okay, back to you, Glenn. Here we go.
Oh, okay. So I'll talk about the first one. Regina Bell Higher. That record came out in 2012. We did a song called "Work It Out, Let God Work It Out." I think that's the title of it.
Uh-huh.
And also, but like I've been working with Regina for years.
Yes.
Since 2000, and I won't say 2005, and we still work together.
Yes.
We still do things together. That's my sister. I can call her right now and she'll pick up the phone. She just has a good spirit.
Yes.
About her. Yeah.
Yes.
Lamar Campbell.
Yes.
I got introduced to him from my friend Leon Lewis, which is he was the producer of this particular record that you see, From the Heart. And I was fortunate to write a song on his record, actually the first song on the record, called Let Everything That Have Breath.
Awesome.
And we was able to, we did it in Indianapolis. That's where from. Shout out Lamar Campbell.
Awesome.
And that record was released in 2007. 2007.
Yes.
So it goes back to that year, 2005 to 2010.
Awesome.
Moving forward to 2019.
Okay.
My guy Toddy Showers.
Yes.
Who was I think my guy Lucius Hoskins. He gonna kill me because I'm messing his name up. Lucius Hoskins. For those who don't know who Lucius Hoskins is, he does all of Zacardi Cortez stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He produced that particular record, and he called me to do something on that particular record. And so it's just a blessing to add that particular song, which was Amen. It's an old church song, and I encourage you to go listen to it. And there it is.
Okay.
So it's just been blessed.
All right, and can you tell us a little about Miss Kathy Taylor herself, Church of God in Christ Queen, right here, Kathy Taylor, yes.
Well, I work with Kathy every week because she's the minister of music. She's at our church, Windsor Village, and I was fortunate to be the music director for this particular record, the Worship Experience. And
right.
That's a signature record because that's the record with Oh How Precious is on.
Okay.
And that song, Oh How Precious, to me is, as Kathy has numerous and powerful songs.
Yeah.
But I believe that song kind of catapulted her to other genres and beyond just the regular norm worldwide.
Yes.
So, shout out to Kathy Taylor. That record was released in 2009.
Okay, all right.
2009. Moving forward to Lamar Campbell, Spirit of Praise.
Yes.
New Sound. That record was released in 2007. The first one was released in 2005. This one released in 2007. So, like I said, it goes back to that 2005 and 2010 era.
Right, right.
Yeah, those 10 years was good.
Yes.
Regina Bell, Love Forever Shines. Now, this record right here is significant because this was her first gospel album.
Okay.
This was her first gospel album. This is the one with God Is Good on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was her first. And we had a couple of conversations about that because, you know, when you do R&B and you come over and do gospel, but she's always been a church girl.
Yes. Yes.
But from a consumer standpoint, from fans, from the audience, they, it could be mixed reviews. Like, now we want to hear you sing these love songs. We
Right,
don't want you to
right.
sing out the song.
Right, of
So,
course.
so just sitting with her and talking with her and just encouraging her. And I was blessed to be on that project as well.
Yes. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Okay, so I wanted the viewing audience to at least see just a small portion of the works that you have done these last 20 plus years, and that the reason why I call you producer extraordinaire. So we're going to now go into the meat of this actual panel, the indie artist journey. Don't quit, but reinvent. So can you tell us, let me ask the question here. Can you speak a little bit about the importance of the indie artist plan, budgeting, and then executing that plan within a reasonable time frame?
Yes, before we get into that, I want to give a couple of definitions on what quit means and reinvent. Quit means to cease from doing something or to stop, as you can see, to give up or to walk away or just stop putting forth effort.
Right.
Now, reinvent means to revive, to restore, to renew, or
Right.
awakening, or something that was already there, invent.
Yes.
And so we want you to reinvent yourself, become a different kind of person, performing
Right.
artist, or whatever it is that you do. Reinvent yourself.
Yes. All right. Can you explain to the indie artists the importance of planning, budgeting, executing, and then planning within a reasonable time span?
Yes. Let's look at the definition of planning and budgeting and executing. Plan is a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. Be intentional about what you're going to do and set goals and divide them into chunks. Plan ahead. By planning ahead, you become proactive and you foresee issues or roadblocks that may come your way, and therefore plan the actions to avoid the roadblocks or face them confidently.
Right.
I like
Okay.
that. I like that.
Me too.
So let's expound on that. So planning, that is the very first step and the most important step you can do when creating a project, creating any kind of business, or whatever it is that you're doing. You have to set out a blueprint.
Right.
A blueprint. Set goals, and it can be short-term goals, it can be long-term goals, but set some type of goal, whether it be
That's right.
2 months or 3 months or 4 months. Or you could do 2 months at a time.
Right.
That's those goals that you set into chunks. Say,
That's
what do I want to do in 2 months? Okay.
right.
What do I want to be in 3 months? Do I want to record this song right there? Find the songs in this particular month. Who do I want to use for that particular person for that particular month?
That's right.
And so planning ahead will you have the blueprint on how to create a budget. And
Right.
we're gonna move on to the budget.
Yes. That's right.
So budgeting is the process of creating a plan. See?
Yes.
It goes back to creating a plan. So you
Right.
plan first. Then budget is the process of creating that plan to spend your money. This spending plan is all a plan. It's still a plan. Spending
right.
plan is called a budget.
That's
Creating
right.
this spending plans allows you to determine in advance whether you have enough money to do the things you need to do or would like to do.
Right. Right. I
So-
like that.
So the key things in this that I get that I want to explain is creating a spending plan allows you to determine in advance whether you have enough money to do the things that you like to do or do the things that you need to do. So you need to come up with a budget. Even if it's a small budget, you
That's
got to
right.
have some kind of budget.
That's right.
And
That's
this,
right.
and this is before you even call a producer or call an engineer or walk into the studio. You have to have all this planned out before. Therefore, it goes back into that when you become proactive and you foresee or roadblocks they may come, you can plan the actions to avoid that. Because you have the blueprint to have all that in place.
Right, no different than when you're planning to purchase a home.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
when you go and you want to inquire about inquire to a realtor, they're gonna give you a list. Once you inquire with them, the list that you need to be ready. But the first thing they're gonna ask is about your plan. How
Right,
much money have you saved to
right.
go towards this? Have you actually talked to a bank and to see, they ask you different things. So it's the same thing, the same principles with music. And you
Exactly.
talking good. You are
Exactly.
talking.
I want. I no. I want, and then I want. I want to go back to that. What you were saying.
Yes,
So with that, you have to decide. Okay, how much do I want to spend,
right,
and how can I get the best for my money?
right,
This
right,
is
right,
what I have. This is what I have to work with. And
right.
here's the deal. Um, take your time. Don't rush.
Yes, yes.
Because this is not a this is a marathon. Yeah, this is a marathon. This is not a race.
Right,
And
right.
and so nobody and you got to remember that we're independent artists, so we can control the temperature. We can control the time frame of when we're gonna put out there or
That's
when we're
right.
gonna release. So you
That's
want to make sure that you're absolutely ready before you even call anybody.
yes.
That's Make sure your plan is good. Make sure your plan is written out for the next 4 or 5 months, 6 months. Even I talk about, okay, when you want to release the record, what are you going to do after you release the record?
That's right.
That all comes a part of the budget. You
That's
have a
right.
you have a recording budget, and you have a marketing budget.
That's right.
Marketing budget is always going to be bigger than the recording budget,
Yes.
because this you spend maybe 3 or 4 months preparing,
Mm-hmm.
calling musicians, calling producers, getting engineers to mix a song to give consumers uh, 3 minutes or 4 minutes of something that you didn't put in months and
Months.
months of time.
Months. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And that's
That's
all they're going to get
that's
in
it.
that particular song.
Mm-hmm.
But that song, the marketing of that song, it spans over a period of time.
Yes, it does.
It spans over a period of time, because what you're doing, you're hitting different markets.
That's
Everybody
right.
won't hear the song at the same time, and so you got to get everybody familiar with your brand. And we'll
Right.
talk branding a little bit later.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So after that, then once you came up with your plan, once you got your budget, now it's time to execute.
That's right.
After planning, setting a goal, and a budget, you have the blueprint to carry out and execute the plan put in place.
That's right.
And you should do it in a timely manner too, because you've already got the plan in place.
That's right.
So if you're planning 3, 4 months, that's your time frame right there.
Yes.
And then you have to be consistent, be intentional. Don't let
Yes.
anything distract you from that plan that you set in place.
That's right.
And be disciplined.
Yes. That's right.
This is one of my favorite ones. Invest in your craft.
That's right.
Whether it's, and I'm going to just talk from a corporate sense, whether it's committing, learning a new skill,
That's right.
or develop, as you can see by the definition or the notes I have, develop further professionally by betting on yourself, simply giving yourself the opportunity to progress, and vastly important to your
Right.
overall, well, it's vastly important to your overall career.
That's right.
Sometimes it can cost. Well, a lot of times it can cost.
Yes.
Whether you want to purchase a new computer, explore a new program, This is one of my favorite ones. Or attend a industry conference.
Yes.
A lot of artists, independent artists, do not like attending industry conference.
Right.
And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about showcases
No.
where you go and sing. I'm talking about going to a conference where you can learn about the business.
Yes, educational.
Education. You have to learn about the business.
Yes.
Because at the bottom it says, if you're building up your knowledge and skill set, your value increase. It's worth it.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Therefore, you're able to make wisely investments because you study, and you know, and you're able to ask questions.
Yes.
And you're able to discern certain things that some people may bring up that may not be for you.
That's right.
I'll give you an example as far as investment. So, for instance, say you want to promote your song to radio, or you want to come up with a marketing plan. And so, and this is not a shot at people, but this, I've seen this done before. And we're just talking, right? We're just
right.
Talking, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, it might be a certain radio person or radio station that, now things are advertised. Okay, they might have a package plan for you that might cost such and such. Okay, we do this and that and do that for that particular amount. And then there might be a 4 or 5 stations, or there might be another situations where you can promote more so in print, maybe magazine reviews and
right.
And so the question is, do you go with the person that's gonna put you on that particular radio station? Because there's just one, there's just one entity. Or do you go with something where you spend your money and it goes out to a lot of different entities?
Right.
That's something that you have to discern. That's something that you have to think about.
Right.
Because the whole purpose is when you invest, you want to get back the best or the most for your money.
That's
because
right.
The thing about it is you're spending it.
Yes. You're
spending the money and you want to get the results back that you're thinking about or that you want.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I wanted to this is what I want to just add into what you're saying. Please be patient. Be patient. Right. Because a lot of times we do have certain goals in mind that I want to be in this position by this time. I want to be here. I want to be mainstream by this time, and go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself. Because the industry it's in the midst of change right now. Things are not like how when Glenn and I were really working back in the 90s and the early 2000s. The industry is shifting right now. But this is a good thing for indie artists and indie producers and indie radio, anyone that's indie, because it's about the switch where the indies are going to be on top and mainstream is just going to be like, so go easy on yourself.
Well, it's already switching.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's already switching because you think about it, a lot of the major artists that was under the umbrella, they're going independent.
Yes, they are.
They're going independent. And it's just switching. Everything is just switching. So my advice and my encouragement to independent artists, keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing it.
You're there. You're already there.
Yes. You're making noise. Yes, you are.
Stay consistent.
That's right.
Is the key.
Don't give up. And if, like you said, like we're saying, don't quit. If you want to go on and try to reinvent or try to do something a little different and reinvent, because we as indies, we are very creative. And don't talk yourself out of something. Don't tell yourself, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Do it. If it's coming to you to do it, do it. Go easy on yourself. Do not compare yourself to other artists. Please don't, because
Right.
we're all unique. We're all, Glenn is a producer, a veteran producer, just such as myself and my husband, Dupree. And we have our own unique styles, and they're all very, everything we do is still very good. And it's attractive. People love it when they hear it. So go eat, don't compare yourself to anyone else's talent. Go easy on yourself and create, create, create. Okay, you going to take over from here.
I think you said enough. Yeah.
I want to move this because I like this one right here. This is what I like right here. Like what we were just talking about.
Yes, this is one of my favorite ones. Building your brand.
Yes.
Building your brand. I'm like really, 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 really. That's a passion of mine.
Yes.
That's a heart, because everywhere I go, I'm always saying I'm rocking the brand now.
Yeah, and he does. He's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm always rocking the brand.
Yes.
And it's important that you do build your brand. And speaking of which, I like to go into a couple of examples of building your brand.
Yeah.
As you can see, creating your personal brand vision. The first step is creating your personal brand is to organize your thoughts.
Yes.
And create your personal brand vision.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way you want yourself to be perceived by others, and also how you want to live your professional and personal life.
That's right.
Yeah. And then
right.
you define your target audience.
Right.
The target audience is a best practice for anyone that needs others to give them something. It might be a salary,
Right.
an investment, or money in exchange for a product or service.
Right.
Whenever you need something from someone, you go through at least some of these steps in defining a target audience.
Yeah.
So, on the music side, you got to find what you want to be. What do you want people to, when they say your name, what do you want people to think of you as?
Right.
You have to be unique, even though everybody do a lot of different styles of music, and that you have to find out, okay, what makes you unique, even though you may have influence from different people. I mean, I have influence, I have a lot of influence on my life, but I have to find that one thing that separates me from everybody else. Once you find that one thing, you stick with that thing, and you brand that thing on everything.
Yes.
Everything you put out, everything, even when you walk, when you talk, even when you go in the store, you brand that thing. That's how you build your brand. Build up your online and offline assets. Assets are the things you own that will communicate your brand message to your target audience. Assets are things like your own website, your personal website, your blog, your Twitter username. I mean, just simple things like that, because we're living in a social media world. So everything that you're using, like your Twitter, your IG, it could be a little symbol. If you got a unique little symbol that you use for your Twitter name, or you got a unique Twitter name,
right?
That you use that often. Use that all the time. Keep putting it out there so it can start trending. Offline assets are like the business cards, the traditional newsletters that you send out. We're in 2021, so mostly everything is social media driven.
Yes, it is.
It's social media driven, and everything is digital.
Yes.
The next one is outreach. Outreach is the act of providing value to those that have established audience, filled with the people you want to reach. Someone like your peers.
Yes.
So if you want to, the value in exchange they give you the chance to sell yourself to the audience. This what I like. I really like this one, and I think a lot of people take this for granted.
Yes.
Free press coverage. And I'm going to explain this after I read the definition. Getting press coverage can establish you as an authority in your industry. You can get access to audience full of people that you can hire, partner, vendor. Press coverage as an individual can be a challenge, but it can be done and done effectively, leading to the opportunity you seek as you work to grow your personal brand. Press coverage, to me, is like one of the best marketing tools that you can do, especially if it's free. So everything is done through either social media or done online now. So if you're getting press coverage, the more press coverage that you get, it is building your name up in the Google search.
It sure is.
And that's what you want. And the key thing is, once you get certain press coverage, whether it be you mentioned on a blog, or you mentioned on the website, or you in a magazine review, or you've done press releases, anything that's online that can be printed and documented and stamped online, it's forever there.
Yes, it is.
And so what happens is, over a period of time, you start trending. And so when people pull up your name and Google your name, here's a list of everything that you've done. Here's a list of everything that you've been involved in. Mm-hmm. And so when people come to you, you don't have to give them a resume of who you are.
That's right.
You just say, hey, I do this, or you can Google me.
Right.
You can Google me.
That's right.
Next one, connect with mentors. I love this as well, because mentors are the ones that actually they can mentor it, that's done it before.
Right.
They have a successful plan and a successful blueprint of how to get where you're going. And so you always use the knowledge that they give you. And that goes back to the going to industry conferences and finding somebody that's in your particular field and talk with them. Get the knowledge in it. And then you use that knowledge to fit your brand.
Right.
You use that knowledge to fit your brand. But you have to brand everything, even your name, even down to the fonts that you use on album covers.
Yeah.
How you write your name, if you write your name a certain way, that's your brand.
Yes, it is.
Write your name the same way on everything, whether it be t-shirts, whether it be hats, whether it be pens, whether it be a book or whatever. And that's your signature thing.
Yes.
That's no difference in coming up with a logo.
Yes.
Our logo is the BDM. Our company is the BDM Music, but the logo is this little man with the headphones on.
Right.
But every time you see the man with the headphones on, everybody's gonna know it's BDM Music.
Exactly.
Monitor your brand. Remember, yes. If you're gonna work so hard on your brand, you should also find out what people are saying.
Yes.
I really think it goes beyond the immediate feedback people are willing to give you.
Right.
I want to say, when you're branding, think beyond the norm. And that's with anything. Just go beyond the norm.
Right.
So, like, I give an example. As independent artists, independent, as people might think, independent means almost like, to some people, maybe less than major, or maybe not as good as this person, or slightly above amateur.
Right.
That's not true.
That's
not true. And so, since it's perceived to be that, we have to work twice as hard.
Right.
We have to make sure that our music is twice as good.
That's
we have to make sure that our marketing is twice as is out in public. We have to make sure that our album cover is twice as nice.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, I encourage independent artists, go beyond the norm. Go beyond the norm. We always pride ourselves as going beyond what is called. I give an example. So you got an album coming out.
Right.
You got an album coming out, and you want to do some marketing, and you might put out a flyer or whatever, Go a little bit beyond. Do a little visual flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Have it moving or something. Or
Yeah.
spend a little time or do a little promotion or do a little a video
Mm-hmm.
promotion just to put it just a tad step higher than what's normal. Because
Right.
you have to remember, you're not the only one that's in this game.
That's right.
You're not the only one that's doing it. There's way more independent artists than they are major artists.
Yes, it is.
There's way more. So, with that being said, then you have to really, really stand out. You have to stand out and take a seat back.
Yes.
Watch what other independent artists doing. Watch and see what the majors are doing, and find out. Okay, how can I be unique? What can I
Right.
do?
Right.
You don't want to do the same thing they're doing
Right.
because what you're doing is you're following in their footsteps, and then they're like, well, I mean, you're trying to be like this person.
Right.
We don't need you when we got this person. Right
For
here.
if you don't mind me interjecting, for example, and now who I'm about to talk about, she's mainstream now, but she started out independent. She had to get people's attention, and I'm talking about Lizzo. I don't agree with everything she does.
Right.
But Lizzo, she took what made her stand out really. Not that she is the best singer or anything or dance or anything, but she can play that flute.
Yeah.
That girl can play that flute. So she was in band, and so she got up there and she's entertaining, and she can play that flute for real, along with her personality. And that's what caught the attention. She went from an indie to a mainstream artist, and she used what she had. Nobody could take that flute. She said her father told her to play that flute, play the flute, and because that's what she was excellent at. And she took it and used it in everything. That's really her brand. That flute.
Right. That is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All the many records she sold and the songs she did, people remember. Oh, she plays flute.
She plays that flute. She really plays. Yeah. And they expect her every time she does something, a live performance. They expect her to get that flute and play it. So that really is her brand. How many flute players do we really see out there on mainstream? Not many.
I mean, there are a lot of flute players that are mainstream, but hip hop.
That's what I'm saying. Hip hop mainstream. Hip hop mainstream. Yes. Right. Exactly. Right. She flipped it, and that was unique. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. So. Being unique, and the last thing is just be yourself.
That's right.
Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself.
That's right.
Because you got to remember that you're making conscious choices about presenting yourself in the public that may sometimes require you to change your behavior or appearance. They should still be based in what makes you uniquely you. So it has to be what makes you unique. That's what needs to shine.
That's right. So I want to ask the second question right now, and then I'm going to bring in our next panelist. But can you talk about how you merged your production company, U Groove, with BDMU Groove? And without further ado, I want to bring in Mr. Glenn GP Piper's better half, Miss Sheila Moore Piper, who was a panelist, a guest panelist of mine last year in 2020. Welcome, Miss Sheila Moore Piper. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
So good to see you. Can you all please tell the viewing audience how BDMU Groove got started?
Well, let's get a little history. So U Groove Music was my production company, and Sheila had a production company which was Busting the Devil Music, and she can explain about that.
Okay.
Years ago, I developed my production company, which is Busting the Devil, because I worked with some people years ago, and we recorded some stuff and wrote some songs and recorded some stuff, and it never came out.
Listen,
never came out.
this
And
goes
then,
back to don't be so hard on yourself because you
it
here
never came
now.
out. And
You
so,
here now.
and so when of course when we got married, we just decided to merge the two. So I'm actually BDM and he's you.
Awesome. I'm getting ready to show them your.
Let me I want to expound on it because at the time we wasn't married. We
just kind of dating.
I don't think we were even dating at the time. We had a partnership with two other guys.
We did.
Okay.
And so we was decided that we was all gonna do a couple of projects, and Sheila was going to be the first project that we released. So we started working on the project, and everything was going good. And some kind of way, it just everybody had different perspectives, and it just dissolved. That particular partnership dissolved. But like me and Sheila, we have like the same personality, literally. She's like a female version. So we had put all this work into this record, and so we decided, hey, we're gonna finish the process, put this record out, and then we started dating. Then we got married, and then we decided that, hey, we don't need to have two production companies. Right. So we shortened it to BDM You Groove Music.
And this is it. There we go. BDM You Groove. And that's that logo you were talking about with the headphones and the shades and that. Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know what the BDM stands for.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So tell the audience again. What does it stand for?
Busting the Devil Music.
I love it.
Bust the devil inside his head.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, when I went and got my DBA years ago, because we have a DBA together now. When I went to go get it, I was at the county clerk's office, and the lady said, she said, I like this. She said, because there's a lot of devils out there.
Yeah, I know that's right. I'm loving it. So can you tell the viewing audience, can you tell them a little bit about your target clientele? The clientele that you all have, and I'm going to be showing some different pictures while you all are talking. But tell them a little bit about your clientele, who you all have produced under BDM You Groove Music.
Oh wow.
You know what? Let me re-ask the question, because going back to our topic, which is the indie artist journey. Don't quit, reinvent. So this is why I'm asking you. Not I don't mean targeted in a bad way, but what I'm saying is it just all have fallen together with the type of artist that has that you all have come in and just revived and reinvented. Can you tell me a little bit about your audience, about your clientele?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think the first person when we really started working together with different people, I believe Neva was the first. Neva was the one.
Yeah.
2017.
Yes.
Walk with me, and that's when I guess that's when we realized we were doing what we do. We do stuff together as well.
Yes.
We kind of just took we just wanted to see it. We knew we had the gifts to do it, but but when we started with her project and we started with the Walk With Me single, and it just started going. It just started from there.
The doors just started
opening, and then it was just went from her to.
When I say I love that song, Walk With Me with Neva Fort Nation. And it's funny that you mentioned Miss Nation, because we actually have a testimonial from Miss Neva Fort Nation. So we're going to see what Miss Neva Fort Nation says about BDM You Groove Music.
Hi, I am national recording Christian gospel artist Neva Fort Nation. And my testimony and experience with working with BDM You Groove Music, it has been phenomenal. Working with BDM You Groove Music for the past 3 years, I now have 3 singles that have been on Billboard, on the indicator charts. BDMU groove music has a certain type of style that I have gravitated to, and it's brought out the real me. And it is a blessing to be a part of the BDMU groove music family.
Yes, Miss Neva Ford Nation. I'm telling you, I love what you all have done with her, with this artist. And she's such a unique, she's like traditional, but modern, and y'all merged all that together. Miss Neva Ford Nation, I tell you, can you tell the viewing audience a little bit more about more clients that that you all have worked with and produced?
Another client we work with is my good friend Dre Tate from the
Woo!
Williams Brothers.
Yes, Mr. Tate. Yes.
I actually met Dre Tate on the Tom Joyner cruise. We was on the
Really?
Tom Joyner cruise, yes, and we just met in passing. Didn't know we was gonna be working together or anything. I met him, said, "Hey, nice to see you, cool brother." I didn't think none of it until he connected with Sheila, and the rest is history from there.
Wow. And Dre Tate, know he can sing. I actually had him as a guest on my Indie Artist Showcase panel was it last year or 2019? I'm trying to remember. So much going on within the last couple of years. But when I say that Dre Tate can sing, Dre Tate can sing. And Dre Tate also sent a testimonial about him working with BDMU groove music, and we're going to show it right now.
I came to know Glenn and Sheila Piper from basically they was one of the ones that helped me kind of hold on and save my career, because I wanted to give up after the first single that I dropped, One More Again. And business-wise, it didn't do exactly what I had planned. I went through a lot of issues, and I want to just quit, and just continue just being a William brother. And it was through them that they kind of helped me remix the song. And I knew it was God, because Glenn knew things that I talked to God about that I never talked to him about. So again, the song came out, and they encouraged me to hold on. I never get his words, "Man, give me a chance at it." I never forget that. So I appreciate them for what they did for me, because if it wasn't for those guys, I probably would have quit. But thank God for them.
Woo, I'm telling you, that Dre Tate right there.
Shout out Dre Tate.
That Dre Tate, I'm telling you, he's such a pleasant person. Along with Neva, they're such a pleasant person. I'm telling you.
We need to call him One Tate Drake.
Yes. Yeah. That he's an artist. I mean, an artist for real. Yes. So can you give the viewing audience, can you tell them a little bit more, some more people that you produce and you work with?
Yeah, the next person, Ebrandia. Now that's unique because I didn't know Ebrandia. A friend of mine, a musician friend of mine named Sean Allen, called me and said that she wanted to do a single, and she had been did a couple of singles, and nothing worked out for her. And so he kind of, gave me a heads up on what she was dealing with. And, I said, okay, no problem, man. We'll take care of her. So we reached out and we connected. And like I said, the rest is history.
Wow.
She's a phenomenal singer.
Yes.
She's a phenomenal songwriter, and
yes,
I'm just glad and honored that we was able to help her and be calling, her vision and her purpose.
Yes, I heard Miss Brandia's music, and she has a beautiful, beautiful voice, and just such a blossoming career ahead of her. And we also, she wanted to give a little testimony about working with BDMU Group as well. So here we go.
All kinds of surprises tonight, huh?
That's right. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ebrandia. I am a gospel artist out of Missouri City, Texas. But let me tell you, that would not have been made possible if it wasn't for Glenn and Sheila Piper of BDM You Groove Music. They came into my life at a time where I lost hope. I didn't believe anymore. But with their guidance, leadership, and mentorship, I was able to put out my first single. They have really been instrumental in my journey, and I feel so blessed that God put the right people in my life to do all the things that I never thought I'd get a chance to do. This is a dynamic duo. Glenn, Sheila, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me believe in myself again. Thank you for being instrumental in my journey. I can't wait for part 2. Everything that's happening and has happened, you know why? He planned it. God bless you guys. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Woo, Miss Brandia. She is such, and I believe that she on here too. I wanted to highlight, this is just a little bit of the people, just a small portion of the artists that you all have worked with. I'm telling, did you want to tell us a little bit about some of the artists here that were not mentioned earlier?
Oh, well, you see Neva, and you see that beautiful lady at the bottom. It all started with her. We call her the first lady of BDMU Group Music.
I know that's right.
And I would say this, and not because I'm married to her, but I do think that a lot of doors and opportunities have been opened because of her record and because of the music that we put out.
Yes.
And I believe that if we didn't have the music put out, then we wouldn't have anybody, calling us, and they wouldn't have a standard, to hold.
That's right.
To go to,
That's right. Yes.
Miss Karen Zealous Sylvia. We got a chance. We did 3 records on her, 3 singles.
Wow.
As you can see, Glad Tidings is the latest one. It's the latest one.
That's one we did in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
And A Place to Belong was our very first single that we worked on. Which Triumph was a second single.
Yeah.
And of course, Earl the Bassman White. Shout out to Earl the Bassman White.
Yes.
We did that. Was that in 2017 or 2016? On this particular record?
Somewhere around, I think 2000. Somewhere around 2000. I think we started in 2017, 16.
Yeah, we met Earl at the Gara Awards.
Yeah, we met in 2016.
And he said he wanted to do a collaboration.
And so
I said, well, I got you, man. We gonna look out for you. And here's the deal. He didn't believe us at all.
Yeah.
I said, well, obviously you haven't worked with us before.
Yeah.
But one thing about us is we're gonna carry out the plan.
Yes.
We're gonna finish the process. That's our reputation.
Yes.
Finishing the process. So if you work with us, and if you want us to do your record, just know that it's gonna be done.
Yes.
And so moving on to the remix. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hip hop mix. We met.
That's right.
We met No Flesh in
Vegas.
Well,
I knew of No Flesh. I knew of him. I knew of his work, and I was familiar with his work. And I said something about that. I said something about him. I said we're gonna get to work together and do some things.
Yes.
I think I reached out to him or something like that, and then we met when we went to one of the Stella Awards events that week. He was there.
That was confirmation.
So the Lord was just setting it up. Lord was setting it up, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then eventually we record. He did the vocals. We were in Cancun.
Yeah, we was in Cancun.
We were in Cancun when
Wow.
I sent the track to him.
Yeah.
And he blazed it.
Yeah, he
and
did.
sent it back.
Because he asked us, what do you want me to do? How do y'all like it? And we was like, don't touch it. We said, don't touch it. We said, don't
change nothing.
Right.
So,
I
love
last
it.
but not least, my sister from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Tina C.
Yes.
She actually, we met her we were Las Vegas doing the Stella Award.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was. I remember she was on the
Oh, that's
showcase.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
was on
did
the
the
thing, but she was on the
showcase.
hip hop showcase. She was
She
there.
was,
Oh
was at hip hop show,
wow.
and
Yeah,
we
she
met
was
her
there.
there.
Yeah,
But
Nice.
we really didn't talk about. We didn't really talk about music. We didn't connect
Mm-mm.
until like years later.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and the cool thing about this, the interesting thing about this, she sent me a song. Um, she had some lyrics to it, and she said, "Can you put music to it?" And so I put music to it. She heard it, said, "Well, I hear something totally different." And she wrote something totally different than what she had at first, and that's how we came up with "All You Need."
Wow, that is so. And see, I like that you mentioned this because it shows the flexibility. It
Right.
shows how flexible and how it shows your diversity as producers. And I love how I'm going to go back to what you were saying about Edia, and this is going to fall right back into the title of this panel for the into the indie artist journey. Don't quit, reinvent. You said something that really stood out to me, and I hope it stood out to some of the viewers. How the person that introduced you to Edia told you that she had some bad experiences within the music field, which I know it was some discouragement that came into this. But you as producers, and I know you all personally because we all network together, and so I know how professional and how hands-on and how when you all work with people, it's not aggressive, and you meet people right where they are. And then the music that you all put out, because y'all have a diverse portfolio of music. The music that when you deal with a one-on-one with your clients, you all really do give them the personal, like that old commercial, the Midas touch. Y'all give them the BDMU groove touch, and it encouraged them. And to see Edia moving now as an artist and with so much passion and zeal, it's like, it seems to me, this is just what it seems to me, that y'all caught her when she was about to quit. But thank God, God put the right people right there at the right time, because her talent is too strong and it's too beautiful for the world not to hear her contribution to the music industry. And this is who BDMU Groove are. This is the things that they do and everything. And I know our time is winding up, but if people want to contact you, how can they contact you all? How can they find you?
Well, we on all social media. Our website is bdmugroovemusic.com. You can go to on Instagram, BDMU Groove Music. Twitter is BDMU Groove Music. I see my personal Instagram is on there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if they reach you, then they're going to reach BDMU Groove.
They reach BDMU Groove Music. Or they can email us, bdm.ugroovemusic@gmail.com.
Yes.
Or you could type in Sheila Moore Piper.
Yes.
If you type in Sheila Moore Piper, everything is linked back to BDMU Groove Music.
That's right.
And that's what goes back to what I was saying, the whole branding thing.
Yes.
So, even though we have our own personal accounts and personal social media accounts, everything links back to our brand. It's all connected.
Yes. Well, before we end, I wanted to know, is there one last thing that you want to say to the viewing audience? And personally, I want to thank you, Glenn GP Piper, our producer extraordinaire. He is a veteran producer. And then the beautiful Miss Sheila Moore Piper, BDMU Groove. They're both partners, the co-CEOs of BDMU Groove Music Productions. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on and being on Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, April 2021. It's always a pleasure. I call Sheila the researcher, having a researcher on, and then yes, she is, and then the producer extraordinaire himself. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Mr. Glenn G. Piper and Miss Sheila Moore Piper. Is there one more thing y'all want to say to the viewing audience before we go?
I just want to encourage all the independent artists to keep going, stay consistent. That's the
Yes.
main thing.
Yes.
Don't rush. Take your time. It's gonna be some challenging, but if you keep tapping at that door, keep tapping every day, eventually that wall gonna fall down.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I always say this, I always leave it with this. Success is not a destination, it's a journey.
Yes,
So,
it is.
just stay on it. You're gonna encourage some things. I mean, you're gonna come into some things. Sometimes nobody said it's gonna be easy.
Right.
Nothing that you want. Sometimes it's not easy. The call of God or whatever He called you to do, it's not always gonna be easy.
That's right.
But I could say in the end, it'll be worth it if you just keep at it.
That's
because
right.
you're invested in yourself.
Yeah.
That's the best investment you can do.
And it's another thing I wanted to say that Sheila always says, that nobody can be you but you.
Yep.
I love that. I
That's
love that. That's
Nobody
right.
can beat you at being you. You just be you.
That's right. That's right. So thank you once again, the Pipers, Mr. Glenn G.P. Piper and Miss Sheila Moore Piper, BDMU Groove Production, the CEOs on tonight. If you all want to contact them, their information have been placed within this panel. And God bless you all. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you for watching Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, April 2021. God bless you and good night.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of my sponsors: Desi's Delectables, BDMU Groove Music, J&N It's a Rap Music Promotions, and Doree Music Incorporated Music Productions.
How many times must I forgive? I'm trying to move on from the past. But deep down inside, I know I have to leave you because there'll never be a past. It seems to me like it's all a plan. Messing, run back to me because you know it's my weakness. My seeing your tears and hearing your fears, I'd run back to you and drown in your tears. I try not to be blind, but deep down inside, I really know why. I really know why. Don't wanna see the truth. Yeah, yeah. God knows I try. I try not to be blind, but deep down inside, I really know why. I really know why. So I try to erase it, but I know I got to face it. I can't love you no more. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired of you and your lies. See, it's plain to me that you and I were never meant to be. It took some time for me to see that my love for you won't make you do right by me. So there's no mistaking, I won't be taken